We have an expert here. We have our friend Jeremi, and we are going to talk about the KenkoGround. So I'm going to stop sharing so we can see Jeremi. Jeremi, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm kind of like doing everything here, like running the computer and everything by myself. So be patient with me.
Sure.
Thank you very much for being here, Jeremi. And I always wanted to understand how the KenkoGround works, actually. I was impressed. Like I hear a lot of the time that our body is an electrical system, right? And then sometimes we want to understand how this electricity, this energy, runs into our body. What can you tell us about this?
Sure. Well, our bodies are actually a bioelectromagnetic system. The magnetic part, it's something that Nikken has done incredible work on over the course of the last 50 years. But with reference to our body being an electrical system, absolutely. So every part of our body is electric in a sense. Every beat of our heart is an electronic event. Our brain utilizes 20% of the electricity our body generates, and actually in a healthy state holds enough electricity to power a 12-volt light bulb. Every time we use our muscles, there's a transfer of electricity. And it's not just our body parts, the components of all of our body parts are electric as well. Every healthy cell in our body is electric. And every part of the cell, every atom is electric. So yes, we are definitely electric beings. But most importantly, the architecture of our body allows all of these parts to connect with each other through electricity. Think of touch, just as an example, our different senses. We can see, we can hear, we can touch. When we touch something, if we were to touch our keyboard, a lot of information is sent from our fingers to our brains, and very rapidly. The hardness of the keys on our keyboard, the temperature, the pressure that we touch. A lot of information is transferred to our brain very quickly, and it's done through an ionic process. It is an electrical process that tells our brain exactly what it is that we're touching. And the same is true when we see something or when we hear something. Our nervous system operates on electricity. Now it's basically conduction. So conducting is what our body does, and conducting is a necessary thing for our body. It's not just something that's positive. It's required for our survival. It's required for the survival of any animal. And if we're not conducting, we'll simply perish. And it's also understood that excess electricity can build up in the body. And if this excess electricity isn't released, it'll cause a lot of undue stress on the cells. And unfortunately, living in modern times, we live in an ocean of electrical charges. In our home, in our living room, our computers bombard us. When we're outside, the power lines bombard us. Our bodies really do absorb a lot of undue electrical charges, and releasing these charges is absolutely critical to our health.
Yes, I understand. Even our cardiovascular system is electric, right? Our brain, how our brain works, our ideas and everything is an electrical system, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And so if you think about your heart, I don't know if you've ever had an EKG or if you've seen an EKG, but what they're doing is they're capturing the electrical event that's taking place from your heart. That's how they can track your heart health.
Yes, actually, I kind of like write a few questions here, so I don't forget.
Sure.
So let's see. I'm gonna read my notes here. It's like, how can we get rid of the extra voltage from our body? Is this possible? Does it balance the electric charges in our body? And how the full concept of grounding works?
Okay, so your question is right on target. From the beginning of time, connecting to the earth is how animals have released this excess energy. All we need to do is touch the earth, and it absorbs all of the bad stuff. Touching the street or some other man-made substance likely won't work. Touching the actual earth is best. You touch the dirt, you touch the sand, you touch the actual earth. When a living creature touches the earth, there's a trade that takes place. As the earth immediately takes the unneeded electrical stress off of our cells, it replenishes our body with a flow of ions that enable proper electrical conductivity within our body. Without these extra ions, our body won't act as a conductor in the same way, and our system just won't function well enough. So the relationship, our body's relationship with the earth, I know it might sound a little bit hokey, but we have a real relationship with the earth that's a give and take. We give the earth our excess energy, and the earth gives us these ions that keep us moving, that keep our electrical system operating.
Right. Thank you. And going along with the other question is like, can you explain how that technology on the KenkoGround works? Maybe this question is part of the previous one, but
no, the KenkoGround, it literally brings the earth to you. So when you live indoors, when you're in your house, you're obviously not grounded. You're not touching the earth in any way, shape, or form. The KenkoGround allows you to make contact with the earth. When you touch the pad with any part of your body, all you need to do, and it could be just your fingertip, literally what happens is the excess voltage leaves your body, transfers through the pad, out the cord, into the wiring of your house, and it gets deposited into the earth. So essentially what the Kenko pad does is it fuels your body with electrons from the earth, and it disposes the excess electricity from your body into the earth. And there are other grounding pads that are out there. They're easy to see, but the reality is the way that the Kenko pad was developed, it's the Rolls Royce of grounding pads. It works in a way that other pads don't, and then it's extraordinarily consistent and does the job absolutely.
yes. Thank you. They are asking me, who is Jeremi? So I didn't explain, maybe, introduce Jeremi that well. He's a product specialist and he works for Nikken. So that's why I invite Jeremi to come here. So, and thank you very much for doing this, Jeremi. I have known Jeremi for a few years now. So he's very involved in Latin America as well. I see him traveling, going there. So thank you very much for being here, Jeremi. And going along with our questions, let's see what else do we have here. So what are the benefits of the KenkoGround, and why do we need to have one at home? Why we need one at home? Yeah,
well, I actually have more than one at home. But so there are a tremendous number of studies supporting various benefits of the grounding approach to wellness. And information is coming in every time a new Google search is done. Reducing stress on your cells is a really, really big deal. And it's a technology that's gaining a lot of recommendation in the scientific community right now. This is the time where there's sort of an epiphany of how this technology fits in to modern day health and wellness. The most common reasons to ground involve inflammation, anxiety, sleep, and there are many, many other really, really good reasons to use this product.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm reading some questions here. I have Elaine Brewster. He said, do you literally have to touch the KenkoGround with a bare skin? What about, how about a light nylon layers, PJs between you and the pad?
Sometimes if the material that is between you and the pad is thin enough, or if it's an open weave, it's okay. The KenkoGround pad will work. Or if the material is a little conductive, the KenkoGround pad will work. What we know for sure is that and that's an important thing, knowing for sure. What we know for sure is that if you're bare skin and you touch the KenkoGround pad, your body voltage is going to drop to 0.007, the same voltage as the earth. Your body will be perfectly balanced with the earth if you're bare skinned. If you're wearing something, then maybe not.
I see. There's another question here by Michelle Kowalczak. How often does the KenkoGround require replacement? Does that technology wear out?
The technology doesn't so much wear out. So the way that the KenkoGround pad is designed, there's a network of fibers that are conductive that run through the entire surface of it. And these fibers, they're not as durable as some other material. Obviously, if it were made out of neoprene, it would last a very, very long time. This isn't neoprene. This is a very high quality. Really, it's a sort of a medical device. So proper care is important. If you have very, very rough feet or you're very heavy, obviously the pad will wear out quicker than if you're a very small person with very soft feet. It just depends. I can tell you that I've been using my KenkoGround pads for, well, since the beta testing, several years, easily several years, and they're still in good condition.
Good. And let me, I have a few questions here, but I'm gonna go back to my questions first. So sure. Is there any special concept or knowledge we need to know in order to understand best the KenkoGround?
No, that's the best thing about the KenkoGround pad. It's a plug and play. So as long as you have a working ground in your outlet, all you have to do is connect the pad, you plug in the plug into the grounding hole and touch it with your skin. That's it. That's all you need to know to get the full benefits of the grounding. That's it.
Yes, there's a question here. Is like, can I have my KenkoGround permanently connected? Is there any counter instruction?
No. There's absolutely, the more grounding, the better. It's not going to harm the pad if you have it connected all the time. Generally speaking, there's a general rule of thumb that anytime you can disconnect an appliance, you should disconnect an appliance. And I suppose that same advice would apply here. But if you leave it plugged in, you're not going to do any harm to yourself or the product.
Yes. Good. I'm just reading some questions here. It says, I sleep with it under my feet. The top has gotten kind of peel and fuzzy. Will its effectiveness be less? How do you know if it is?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, Ruben?
I sleep with it under my feet.
Uh-huh.
What is the question? I keep getting questions, so they move up my... Okay, the top has gotten kind of peel and fuzzy. Will its effectiveness be less?
It's likely that if it's pilling, it'll still work okay. The thing to keep in mind is that the entire surface, one of the brilliant features of this product is the entire surface is conductive. It's not like it has a conductive wire running through some of it or parts of it, or it's not a checkerboard pattern. The entire surface is conductive. So even if some portion of your pad is worn out and for whatever reason, or even if it's cut out, it'll still be conductive on the areas that are intact. And all you need is a conductive line somewhere from your body to the pad to the cord. That's it. If you've got that, it'll work. Excellent.
Another question is, can you sleep with the KenkoGround with the sleep system?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's a terrific combination, because if you think about, so the first point that I made was that the body is actually, we're bioelectro magnetic beings. And the idea is to be in balance electrically, in balance magnetically, and in balance biologically. And if you've got that, then you've got it. That's what you want. So combining it with the Kenko pad, where you're in this cocoon of magnetism, and with a comforter where you've got this far infrared enveloping you, that's you might as well. That's like being out in the forest.
Right.
That's like sleeping out in the, that's like the world as it used to be.
Thank you. And one other question, any other observation or ideas you want to share on the KenkoGround? Is there anything else we need
there are a couple of benefits that aren't commonly known. First of all, the KenkoGround pad, it is one of the best EMF shields out there. So for me, for example, I keep one underneath my computer, like on my desk, under my computer, and it shields all of the EMF from passing through my desk, and nothing below my waist is going to be touched by EMF. It acts as a physical barrier between the source of the EMF and your body, and that's just an additional benefit of the pad that isn't even marketed. I mean, there's so much focus on what a great earthing product, what a great grounding product it is, that the EMF shield is just kind of an afterthought. The other thing is that it's a really, really strong far infrared emitter, which is a good thing, especially for those of us that spend too much time indoors. We don't get enough sunlight, and far infrared really is one of those natural energies that we need to survive. So it really does help emulate a healthy environment. Even if you live in an apartment in Manhattan, your apartment can still be a healthy environment with this product.
Oh, well, a lot of information. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for being here. Especially me, I'm new in Nikken, like 2 years, and I was fascinated when I learned that our system, our body is an electrical system, and I wanted to know all that. In fact, when we launched the KenkoGround, when I came here to the US, we didn't have one. Everything was, back order. So I was like waiting so much impatiently to have one, and now I have one, and I enjoy it that much. And thank you very much for all the knowledge. I didn't know that we can get protection against the EMF, what is called electromagnetic frequencies, right? The limited ones, right?
Right.
It's great to know all this information. So, well, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure. Anything else you would like to add?
No, for me, that's all. Just that it's a fantastic product. I hope everyone finds as much benefit in it as I do.
Thank you very much. And Jeremy will be with us in another sessions, another kickoffs, and he will be teaching us more and training us more in our technology. So thank you very much, Jeremy. Have a
Okay, my pleasure.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you. All right,
Ciao.
bye-bye.
Goodbye.